y'all, this Ye, and this my commercial.
Kanye's Super Bowl advertisement was absolutely embarrassing.
And I got some shoes, and
embarrassingly genius. It's hard to admit when this man has actually done something smart for once.
It's crazy that we live in a world that if you're super positive and super creative, that it's scary.
But critics are saying that Kanye absolutely played the Super Bowl advertisers for a fool and is a marketing genius for his recent extremely expensive advertising experiment.
Yeezy.com, Yeezy.com.
Kanye West paid millions of dollars for what is at first glance a completely embarrassing Super Bowl commercial. And amidst all of this man's controversy, he is now paid for his own ad spot in the Super Bowl, but this isn't a normal Super Bowl commercial. You know, like what every brand would typically do in terms of advertising during the Super Bowl. So while Verizon reportedly dropped $30 million to feature Beyonce in their Super Bowl ad,
yeah, it's Verizon 5G. The network is crazy powerful. I bet you can't break that.
I bet I can.
Kanye West filmed his from the backseat of a car using his cell phone. What? In the dark, grainy, barely visible video, Kanye introduced himself, showed off his new teeth grill thingies, and although he seemed to struggle a bit while talking through his tooth bling as he was barely understandable, he confessed that he used up all of his budget for the commercial and left absolutely nothing for the actual production. I guess he's always been honest.
And I'm gonna write it at the bottom of the screen, and I got some shoes, and...
Now, considering that Super Bowl commercials typically cost about $7 million for your 30 seconds of airtime, Kanye thought that his attempt at raw brokenness would appeal to the masses. And it was also reported that his ad didn't air everywhere, which also hinted at a potential lower cost as well, as it wasn't seen in LA, but it was seen in Miami broadcast. Cheap or genius? Well, no matter what the cost was, he made sure to get his message across, as he basically just filmed a video of him talking into his front phone camera, saying, "I want you to go to Yeezy.com. I'ma write that at the bottom of the screen." That was my Kanye impression, and it was pretty bad, but Kanye finished off his bizarre ad by saying, "I got some shoes, and that's it."
And I got some shoes, that's it.
So I went to Yeezy.com so you don't have to, and here's what I found. Remember that see-through white tank top with the word wet written across it that Kanye's wife was wearing in public? Well, that's being sold on Kanye's new website for a whopping $28? Hold on, is this Yeezy.com or Walmart.com? What is going on here? It's interesting to see that Kanye is in fact trying a new business strategy, as on his new website there are 12 clothing items all up for sale for $28 a piece. And it's got me thinking, where did this man come up with his new pricing strategy? Why $28? What is going on here? Then I realized, this is Kanye West we're talking about. The same man who wore a black mask with a crucifix on his face to the 2024 Super Bowl in an attempt to hide from his ex-wife Kim Kardashian. Therefore, no explanation needed. And on the website, on top of the super ugly tank top, there are some sock shoe things and other merchandise specifically related to Kanye's latest album. A fashion insider by the name of Maya Riaz believes that it's possible that Kanye is back on the road to taking over trendy fashion. Maya says, considering Kanye and Bianca's previous successes and undeniable influence, it is not out of the realm of possibility for them to make a significant impact on the fashion world. It is worth pointing out that the recent controversies surrounding Kanye have had mixed effects on his reputation within the fashion world. While some controversies have even sparked interest in conversation, others have led to backlash and potential brand damage. I agree with you, Maya. But how about the fact that his sense of fashion is just flat out embarrassing and terrible? Sorry, I know that fashion is subjective, but there's a reason why you don't see a million people walking around the streets with black masks and a crucifix on their nose, right? What about wearing nothing with a clear raincoat? Listen, at the end of the day, only time will tell if this man's odd attempt at a Super Bowl promotion will actually pull through and ultimately deliver timely and beneficial sales. But for the time being, Kanye remains in the hole for at least a few $1 million for this Super Bowl ad. What are your thoughts on Kanye's recent attempts to bring back and revamp his influence in the fashion world? Because it was clear from the start that the reason why he's been exploiting his wife Bianca has something to do with reviving his media presence and PR, even if it's terribly negative. It only makes sense that the most watched live broadcast of the year always has something go wrong, and that's because it's live television, which makes it 100 times better.
When something goes wrong at a Super Bowl halftime show, the mistake can be larger than life.
And from nip slips to injured crotches, here are the biggest Super Bowl mistakes of all time. Come on, where else did you think we're gonna start? It's the most miraculously famous wardrobe malfunction ever! Because we're taking it back about 2 decades on the dot to the most amazingly popular Super Bowl blunder of all time. The ever popular wardrobe malfunction of the century. The best showing of Janet Jackson's career as a performer. If you've never heard of this blunder, then you're either too young to have access to the internet or too old to have access to the internet. In one of the most highly anticipated halftime shows of all time, with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, things couldn't have taken a more surprising turn.
I felt like I had so much to prove to myself.
See, the executives of the NFL who put this whole shenanigan together were probably giving themselves some nice high fives and big pats on the back for the ultimate success of this halftime performance until BAM! Within a split second, Justin Timberlake makes the call. It's an audible. He decides to run a play that definitely wasn't in his original book of plays. That play is, of course, the play which was to rip off a piece of Janet Jackson's top, unveiling a completely full frontal view of her breasts. Yeah. Good going, Justin! See, I don't know who to blame here, because this move had to have been some part of the choreographed routine, no? I don't see why JT would have done such a thing otherwise. It seems a little bit out of the blue to just reach over to your dance or performing partner and just rip off their bra. I don't know, it seems like there must have been something else going on here that we didn't know about because, come on, this is what, 2004? And perhaps they needed the ratings to explode a little bit, and there are some conspiracy theories that perhaps this was in fact done by accident. Which means on purpose, because of, you know, yeah. But by all means, the cameras were not prepared and the performance got quickly cut, and cue a little bit of a record scratch because those same executives that were patting themselves on the back a couple minutes before ultimately slammed the big ban on these performers because both Justin and Janet have been banned from performing at the Super Bowl ever again. And fun fact, this event and blunder actually spawned the birth of the video sharing platform that we all now know and love and call YouTube. Since the creator of YouTube wanted a platform where people can watch clips such as this miraculous, not miraculous, just, kind of miraculous wardrobe malfunction after the event had already finished and the live coverage was done. So bravo! Thank you, Janet's boobies, for YouTube. How about this? The NFL locked in a big performer as they scored big time for the Super Bowl in 2009 as they signed a contract with Bruce Springsteen, aka The Boss, to perform at the halftime show. He was rocking the stage until that memorable moment in the song 10th Avenue Freeze Out when Bruce decided to go for a classic knee slide like a true rock star. But hold on a second, because he ended up going for a knee slide a little bit too fast and too far, and he slammed right into the cameraman's lens, right in his crotch. Ow.
Close up of the camera, and that's what Springsteen did, and it was great.
It remains unconfirmed who was more hurt, whether it was Bruce or the cameraman, although it has been reported that the poor cameraman must have been traumatized both physically and psychologically. With a little bit of nuts to the camera, it's nothing better than a Sunday morning, am I right? And hey, coincidence or not, the teams in the Super Bowl only managed a field goal in the third quarter because I think the crotch slide into the camera might have shaken up more than just the cameraman. Okay, it is the Super Bowl, so how about we talk about the game of football and when the Seahawks inexplicably just threw away a Super Bowl title. Put it this way, a touchdown on this play, the final play of the game, would have won the Super Bowl for Seattle. And in the 2014 Super Bowl, Russell Wilson, the legendary Seahawks quarterback, threw a crazy 33-yard pass bouncing off legs and fingertips and whatever notches like a game of hot potato, and it got caught miraculously. And with the ball just inches away from the end zone, inches away from a Super Bowl victory for the Seattle Seahawks, their coach, Pete Carroll, apparently forgot that he had this player who goes by the name of Marshawn Lynch, aka Beast Mode, one of the best running backs in NFL history, and called a passing play. What? Yeah, because the rest is history. The ball got intercepted, and the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl. Don't worry though, Seattle, because everything happens for a reason, right? You can keep telling yourselves that. What about we're back with the blackout? And in Super Bowl XLVII, I don't know my Roman numerals, I have no idea what number that could possibly be. The Baltimore Ravens were dominating the game until the third quarter got crushed by a stadium-wide blackout. Some say Queen Bee, that is Beyonce's killer halftime performance, drained all the power from the poor lights and caused this blackout. And in the most watched sporting event of the year that was interrupted by a blackout, it's just a reminder as to why you should be paying your electricity bill on time, people. And finally, one of my personal favorites, back to the halftime show. This time it's 2012 and the Queen Madonna herself and her co-performer, Mia, have taken the stage. We're halfway through the live performance. Mia decides to flip the bird and flip off the audience of around, 30 million viewers? What did the audience do to you, Mia? And as a result, Mia got sued by the NFL for $16 million. So I hope it was worth it.
These Super Bowl commercials actually aired on TV. One ad that took it to the extreme was Carl's Jr.'s all-natural ad from 2015.
Introducing the all-natural burger.
Supermodel Charlotte McKinney walks through a farmer's market, but it turns out that she's wearing a bikini the whole time. The commercial frames her in a way that implies that she's not wearing anything at all, and it was just too much for the internet. People even started the hashtag women are more than meat. Carl's Jr. is no stranger to controversial ads, but this one definitely took the cake. Volkswagen's 2013 Super Bowl ad had a white man from Minnesota speaking in a Jamaican accent.
No worries, man. Everything will be alright.
This ad faced a lot of criticism, and it was being compared to blackface with voices, and it was considered offensive by many people. Despite the controversy though, Volkswagen aired the ad during the Super Bowl, and honestly, I'm Jamaican myself, and it's a big assumption to think that only black people live in Jamaica. The motto of Jamaica is literally out of many, one people. So I definitely didn't get the outrage over this one. Ram trucks got into a whole lot of hot water with their Super Bowl ad in 2018. They used Martin Luther King Jr.'s words from his Drum Major Instinct speech. And this, of course, was to sell more trucks, which was seen by a lot of people as exploitation.
If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful.
Now, the backlash spread all over the internet. Also, people who were familiar with the history of MLK Jr. began to point out that the actual speech itself contained many anti-capitalist and anti-consumerist points, including highlighting the shallowness of car commercials specifically. So in the end, it didn't really make sense to use that speech to sell trucks. It's crazy to think about how much the world has changed culturally and socially, especially when it comes to trans representation in the media. So check it out. Back in 1997, there was this Super Bowl Holiday Inn commercial that was seen as straight up sexist and seen as objectification of a woman and comparing her plastic surgery to their hotel renovations.
It's amazing the changes you can make for a few $1,000s.
Bob? Bob Johnson?
Hi, Tom.
Imagine what Holiday Inns will look like when we spend $1 billion.
People called to complain and they eventually pulled the ad off the air, but it wasn't like there was a huge viral outrage like there would be now because social media wasn't a thing back then. But still, it's pretty wild to see how badly this commercial aged. Imagine if this aired on TV today. Boom.
Popcorners. You're an artist. Actually, Jesse, it's just basic ingredients. No.
Advertisements, the best part of the Super Bowl. You know how it goes. 80% of the Super Bowl viewers are watching just to see the commercials, and the other 20% are watching just to see Taylor Swift. This year's Super Bowl commercials are breaking the internet. The Super Bowl is the one night where capitalism feels fun, with advertisements from the companies that we love the most. And these brands drop hundreds of millions of dollars just so you can see a 20-second clip that they hope you somewhat like. Here are the best and the worst ads of the 2024 Super Bowl. Uber Eats. Uber Eats is never shy when it comes to making advertisements that take full advantage of pop culture. This time around is no different. This delivery service giant has taken advantage of David Beckham and his wife Victoria, and they made a play on David Beckham's recent Netflix documentary. In this advertisement, which was filmed in a mockumentary style, David and Vic recreate the scene where Victoria claims that her family was very working class growing up before David nudges her from the side and tells her to be honest about her dad's car, which was a Rolls Royce. Now in this Super Bowl ad, Victoria rocks a shirt proudly saying, "My dad had a Rolls Royce."
I am
honest.
Okay, it's a big commercial.
And they banter about their little commercial, with David nudging her again from the side, this time about it being a big commercial for the big Super Bowl.
Okay, it's during the big baseball game.
Super big baseball game.
Now, this ad is one of my favorites. It's Hellmann's. Does a mayonnaise advertisement interest you? Well, it should, because this hilarious advertisement took the most boring condiment and turned it into something crazy. In this ad, Kate McKinnon's cat starts speaking to her and recommending that she uses mayo on her sandwich.
Meow. Hellmann's. Holy, you can talk.
And all of a sudden, the cat skyrockets to popularity never before seen by a cat.
And now, our keynote speaker.
It even ends up dating and breaking up with Pete Davidson, which was a great jab at Pete's dating life because it was nice of Hellmann's to assume that he could land the speaking cat. Now how about we dive into one of the most profitable and newest industries, the betting industry. BetMGM had a kind of jokes advertisement. But my question is, how does this betting company keep getting a hold of the most popular athletes in North America? Wayne Gretzky, Tom Brady, who's next? Richard Jefferson? Anyways, how much do these online casinos really make? You really gotta wonder. It's almost like there might just be a gambling problem in North America. Now, this ad took advantage of Vince Vaughn's deadpan comedy style as he tells everyone that they are, well, they're allowed and encouraged to gamble on BetMGM as long as they aren't Tom Brady.
BetMGM is for everyone that loves sports betting. Everyone but Tom Brady.
And what better way to promote your gambling company than with a Super Bowl ad using the most legendary Super Bowl winner of all time, Vince Vaughn.
Download BetMGM. Except you, Tom. You've won enough.
ELF Cosmetics is another advertisement that sort of took the internet by storm because they went with the star approach. And the Suits cast, which is riding high on the show's popularity as the most streamed show in 2023, pulled off a reunion for ELF Cosmetics.
Oh, I've been summoned. Obviously.
Is that Elf? Like Will Ferrell? I don't get it. In this advertisement though, the cast, along with other celebrities, gets fake notices for something called Jury Beauty. Get it? Because they work for a law firm and jury, never mind. That is, everyone was summoned from the cast except for Meghan Markle. Yes, she is not included in this commercial, but don't worry, Megan. I hear that Hollywood has its own special plans for you. Michelob Ultra is the next ad, and this one, I don't really know, because speaking of athlete cameos, here comes Lionel Messi, the undisputed GOAT. And in this ad, the beer company makes a play on Messi being the GOAT and playing soccer against a dog in a goat versus dog showdown as he dribbles a soccer ball around a dog on a beach. And sorry, who gave this ad the green light? I mean, this is the best thing that you could have come up with $100 million of budget that's going to be seen by the entire world? Next. Here we go. Oreo, because these guys are good at ads, right? Maybe. So why don't we throw Kris Jenner in there too, who untwists an Oreo, and now that will captivate the audience, right? Crickets. Boring. I am boreoed. Because this was just genuinely terrible. I don't know if it's the unconvincing nature of Kris Jenner's recent acting and her personality here, or just the fact that these guys might need to come up with some new marketing material.
Hey, congratulations. We won. That's it. We did number one. Number one.
Security! Security! Does anyone recognize this Super Bowl fan in the all-black mask with the crucifix on his face? Who could it be? Security! Does anyone see security? Fans are scared of this unknown person. Oh, I see what's going on here. Your ex-wife Kim won't see you if you wear a black mask to hide your face, Kanye. Trust me, she'll have no idea that it's you, especially if you're the only person in the entire stadium wearing a fully black leather outfit with a black mask covering your face, but she might clue in once she sees that big white crucifix on the front of your face.
I'm a legend. You understand that? I'm here.
Hold on, this is the man that we were allowing to set fashion trends over the last decade? I could have just watched Sons of Anarchy if I wanted to see people dressed like this. And wait, is Bianca forcing you to wear this stuff, Kanye? Blink 3 times if she's controlling you and you want out of this toxic relationship. Oh wait, we can't see your eyes because the mask is covering the entirety of your face. Well, happy Super Bowl to you two. It's a constant cry for attention with the way that these two dress. Although people are wondering why Bianca Censori was actually wearing clothes in public. For once, the deranged couple attended the Super Bowl, and the simple answer is because she was smart enough to know that security wouldn't let her in if she wasn't wearing clothes. At the big game, Kim Kardashian was there as well with Khloe Kardashian and Kendall Jenner. And Kim was actually spotted hanging out with her new boyfriend Odell Beckham Jr. right before the Super Bowl started. Apparently this really upset Kanye West, so much so that he made sure to hide in plain sight, but people are convinced that Bianca was also super scared of running into Kim K. A body language expert named Judy James believes that Bianca was super nervous of running into the Kardashians. Judy suggested that Kim wasn't the only person that Bianca and Kanye were hoping to avoid. Judy claims that the crucifix face mask was an attempt by Kanye West to hide in plain sight as he was showing anxiety at the prospect of bumping into either his ex-wife Kim or her current man Odell Beckham Jr. or even the queen of the Super Bowl, the woman who he has dissed in the past openly, Taylor Swift. And Kanye seems to have delegated all of that expressing of tension onto his current wife Bianca. Judy added on, claiming that when a man takes his current wife to a gathering that includes his ex-wife and her new love interest, and then proceeds to render himself invisible, making his current wife's facial expressions visible, it's not the bravest move in the book. And to that, Judy, I raise a glass of non-existent champagne and wholeheartedly agree with you, as it comes off as an extremely cowardly move. Kanye seems to have given up any sense of care for his public perception though, and Bianca clearly enjoys that he's given that up as well, because she is now absolutely willingly just strolling along beside him, letting him do all of his shenanigans, and really enjoying all the fame that's being brought upon her. And here comes my favorite part. It's you guys, the internet people, because comments regarding Kanye and Bianca's Super Bowl showing are just flat out entertaining to say the least. Here are some of my favorite comments that I've read so far. I would have refused him in the stadium with a mask, citing security concerns that a face must be shown at all times. That's the best he's ever looked in a long time. Time to enact Section 13 and lock him up for 72 hours in the nut house. They should be banned from public places. And my personal favorite, I'm so happy Taylor is getting all the attention she deserves and Kanye gets nothing but laughed at. Well, it seems like reasons like this are what make the Super Bowl the most globally watched televised event of the year, so the NFL openly thanks you, Mr. Kanye West.
I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show performance wasn't that bad. I know it's the unpopular opinion because fans were definitely expecting a whole lot more from her, but she's pregnant, guys. And I feel like this was one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't situations, because there were some rumors that Rihanna was actually gonna be backing out from doing the Super Bowl halftime show, but she went through with it in the end. After revealing her pregnancy news during the halftime show at the Super Bowl 2023, she showed off her growing belly in a tight cat suit and leather breastplate. Now, the designer of this, Jonathan Anderson, he even shared a cute snap on his Instagram story. I did have some speculation that Rihanna was pregnant during the halftime show, but I was like, is she really? Is she really? She was giving us all the clues, but it completely went over my head. Either way though, fans were really excited when they got their chance to get a first look at Rihanna's baby bump. And this was actually her first performance in 7 years on the field at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Some other people who share my minority opinion on Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show performance took to Twitter, and one Twitter user said this: Rihanna did that, a pregnant human singing and floating in the air. Elite. And there was another Twitter user that even said this: nothing will be more iconic than pregnant Rihanna performing at the Super Bowl. So yeah, it looks like Rihanna and her rapper partner A$AP Rocky are indeed expecting their second child. I'll admit though that I was definitely expecting more from the performance, but it didn't make it a bad performance in my opinion. But like I said, I'll probably get a lot of heat for this because it's definitely the minority opinion.
Where we at? Let's go!
Hey guys. Usher's Super Bowl halftime show is being branded as a mess by fans. With a bunch of sound and tech issues, fans were underwhelmed and called the entire performance a mess. It was plagued with tech issues, including the music drowning out Usher's voice and his microphone causing unnecessary noises. Despite efforts to rectify the situation, many agree that the performance didn't improve until guest performer Alicia Keys joined him on stage. Now guys, please don't attack me personally for this, as I thought it was great. I love Usher and I thought the tracks were an amazing throwback. Many others do not agree with me. One social media user grumbled, "Who the was on sound check? Usher's mic is not it, come on now." Another added, "Girl, this is a mess. The sound team up bad. Usher sweating his off doing nothing. Alicia singing off key." A third said, "So CBS Super Bowl completely the sound. This is such a great halftime show. Needed it to be loud AF." Usher climbed on stage during the halftime performance, belting out his greatest hits from his 3-decade career, including Yeah, Lovin' This Club, Caught Up, and more. Alicia Keys, Ludacris, and Lil Jon joined him for an unforgettable show, but despite rumors that Justin Bieber would make an appearance, there was disappointment as he didn't show. Looking back on the preparation for the Super Bowl, Usher couldn't contain his excitement. He shared, "I'm so ready for it to happen. I just want to sing louder than I've ever sang, dance harder than I've ever danced. I want to celebrate the 30 years of this career where I'm very fortunate to have made songs and moments with people that we'll remember forever." Added to that, fans were angry Justin Bieber didn't appear with the star to perform after many hints that he would join his pal on stage. Imagine getting angry about something like this though. So many things in the world to be angry about, and this is what people are losing sleep over. That the performance didn't go exactly as they planned. One person wrote, "Justin Bieber didn't join Usher on the Super Bowl stage. I need a cigarette." Another person wrote, "Everyone on Twitter when they finally realized that Usher isn't gonna bring out Justin Bieber during the Super Bowl halftime show," with a meme that said, "I've had enough of this dude." Fans are also sharing pictures and calling themselves clowns after believing that the pop star was gonna join Usher on stage. The duo has collaborated on many chart-topping hits at the start of Justin's career, including Somebody to Love, Peaches, and First Dance. Usher was Justin's mentor during the beginning of Justin's career and guided him in the industry. Before the performance, Usher said to his fans, "Don't take moments for granted because you only get 13 of them," referring to the usually allotted 13-minute runtime. "The hardest part is trying to figure out how to squeeze it all in when you can actually have a large catalog, or a lot of records people celebrate and love. He sure squeezed in a lot. Unfortunately, people didn't appreciate it. I'll end this off by quoting critically acclaimed actor and celebrity insider Pepe Weintraub, who said, "Production value was not at a Super Bowl level. It made me want to scream. I have nothing else to say."